Hey, let's go. We are finally live. It's the NFL schedule release in a minute. I know most of the games have already been leaked, but the first game has already been confirmed for the season. But hey, whatever. I'm mostly doing this just because I can take an in-depth look at a lot of different schedules on a stream that I can't do on the podcast because I'm gonna have a lot to talk about next week with the stuff that stacked up from last week and the stuff that potentially stacks up over the next week, including rumors. So it's gonna be fun next week. But hopefully this isn't too much of a tragedy. I'm hoping we get divisional opponents the last 5 weeks, 3 of 5. That would be nice. Keyword would. Meanwhile, I'm gonna probably end up multitasking half the stream, but hey, what can you do? Well, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, that's what. LA Rams and LA, not LA. Rams and Raiders stadium opens up week 1. Was it Raiders? It said Raiders. I don't remember. I don't know if that was right. Yeah, I think it said Raiders on mistake or something, but I don't know. That was something familiar. Now thinking, I don't know about that. But hey, 17 games is a new season. We know we probably the Jets week 18 because we're thinking it's going to be scheduled at the end of the year, although not confirmed. That's what I'm hoping because could get games later in the season and into the early January every year. It has been rumored that, well, it's pretty much confirmed by now. It's going to be Pats Bucks week 4. That is going to be a chaotic matchup. Brady's going to want to prove he can beat Belichick. Vice versa with Belichick proving to beat Brady. Without Brady, yeah, come on. Week 1 we do have the Falcons. I wanted the Saints, but hey, we got the Falcons. That's a consolation prize. We are at Atlanta week 1. Going to be an interesting game. I don't think. I don't know how we're going to come out of it because there's no corners outside besides Slay, and that's it. And that's not even thinking how does slot corner turn out. And that's like you have to cover Pitts, Julio, Ridley, and then you also have to worry about the rushing attack with a second and third level that is probably going to struggle against the run. So, and I've said it before, this secondary as it is right now, the question marks it has, I see it as a bottom secondary in the league. I do. If question marks pan out, I can see it as a mid-league secondary at best. If they don't pan out, bottom 5 secondary at worst. That's like a floor ceiling kind of thing. Also, the preseason has been reduced to 3 games, and leagues expect to have full stadiums in 2021. Thankfully, we have spectators again at games. Probably going to be a pain to actually get in there, but hey, it'd be worth it for an NFL game. I'd say that now. I'll say that any day of the week. Almost any day of the week. Oh, so that means we're going. So the additional AFC NFC game, and this year the AFC teams have home, which I'm assuming that it swaps every year, which means we're going to the Jets probably on week 18. There has also been leaked the Thanksgiving matchups, and they're underwhelming. All of them could either be good Or it could be so lopsided that people are going to fall asleep during the first game. And they're not going to miss a thing if they miss the next two. It depends. And it also depends if those are true games, which they probably are. Because a lot of leaks are probably true. Because they've been confirmed by guys like NFL Update, Schefter, and Rappaport. And they're usually right. And Philly's first game, like always, is a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Just like most of their games the last couple seasons. Then again, it beats primetime games with classes the next day or work the next day. Oh, yeah, that sucks. Being up till 1 a.m. 12-1. Ooh, that's an interesting matchup. Bills-Chiefs. Bills at Chiefs week 5. That'll be interesting, especially depending on who they field in the 5-receiver set in Buffalo. If they get a replacement for John Brown, which I think they're going to have to. I don't remember who they grabbed in the draft, but if they didn't grab a decent linebacker like highest 4th, 5th, I think you got to bring somebody in from free agency, just a young guy that you can fit in your scheme, because John Brown might be a decent loss. And then week 1, Cowboys at Bucks. I don't feel bad because we have to play the Bucks, and it's a Thursday game. And Brady is 3-1 in NFL kickoff games. That is going to be our kickoff game, which is going to be a blowout, probably. I don't see the Cowboys having much way of winning that game unless Dak shows up and Tom doesn't, and Tom's going to show up. Tom's going to show up. Offensive tackle Penei Sewell. I say that wrong every time, don't I? Is going to miss rookie camp. Interesting. So, Ravens-Raiders got the Monday night game. Bears-Rams got the 8:20 game. And Cowboys-Bucks have the kickoff game. Interesting. That'll be an interesting Monday night game. Ravens-Raiders. Until the Ravens pick apart the secondary. But, I mean, the Raiders are still they're rebuilding their line. They're building on their defensive line still, which it needs a little bit more work. And they're adding to a bad secondary. They need it. I don't think they're going to win that game, but I think it could potentially be close, depending on how Carr and that offense plays behind that O-line and how that D-line gets pressure. Because if you're not getting pressure, then that makes the secondary even worse. Because you're not forcing the ball out on some plays. Ooh, Philly-Dallas is going to be week 3. That is going to be interesting. Monday night football game. Of course, I mentioned Monday Night Football, and I hate being up that late and being up till midnight for a game, and we have a Monday Night Football game week 3 at the end of September. Great. That'll be interesting. 2 struggling teams, although I wouldn't call Dallas as much of a struggle as Philly. I'm still not going to establish a Philly floor and ceiling for records, just because I'm not going to do that till the beginning of the season, right before week 1. But you're probably just going to see Philly get that one Sunday night game, one Monday night game, and one Thursday game. That's usually just how it rolls. That's how it was last year. I really don't think anything's really going to change from that. Ooh, Bills, Tennessee, until you realize Tennessee doesn't have the greatest defense. They've got a great offense, and they can just hand it to Derrick Henry and say, you know what, go to town, and he can steal Josh Norman's soul again. But at the same time, you got to think, wow, this is a Bills team that's matured over a year, added a little bit to their defensive line, and is still working out of that deadly 5-receiver set when used right, 4-5 receiver. That's going to be a good game. How the Giants have 2 Monday Night Football games, one against the Chiefs, one against the Bucks. I don't feel bad, but hey, it's entertainment in the fact that they're going to get stomped by both. And then Seattle's got Washington, week 12, the week after the Bucks-Giants game. Yeah, this November slate sucks. Because you had those 3 games, which are probably going to be big losses for the NFC East teams, and you had 2 other games that could be subpar. You don't know. Then again, things happen. Teams can get crippled by injuries or stuff can happen. But just looking at it from a beginning of the season standpoint with everybody still healthy, if you don't know who's going to go down, those are going to be just destruction. And, I don't even want to think about it. And you've got week 17, Monday Night Football, Browns, Steelers. Wow, that's going to be such an interesting game. It actually will. I like that game. Rams, Cardinals, not exactly competitors, but they're still good enough. This is a nice slate for December, January. I like it. Especially starting off December 6th, week 13 with Pats Bills. I actually might watch that game just because. That could be a good game. I'm very interested with that game right now. Week 17, Browns Steelers, like I said. I don't know about that. I don't. Just because. Why do they have a Chiefs graphic up there if it's at the Steelers? All right, your Week 18 games are all 1 and 425 right now. The 2 games will be flexed to Monday Night Special edition Saturday, January 8th. So you're going to play all your Week 18 games besides 2 Sunday. Wow, it says January 8th, 9th. Yeah, you're flexing 2 games to Monday Night Football and Saturday. So what? You're flexing 1 and 1 or 2 and 2? Or no, is that just 2 on January 8th? Because if so, you're flipping 2 teams, 2 or 4. You've still got a bunch of 1 o'clock and 4:25 games. So, I mean, you got 4:25, and the rest are 1 o'clock. Besides the 2 or 4 you move, no, 2 games. But they're determined after the conclusion of Week 17. So, that means the rest of the games, there's a bunch at 1 and 4 at 4:25. You're not going to move those 4:25 games unless you're pulling 2 teams down to 4:25 too. It doesn't make sense to have so many games and then have 2 4:25 games. Although I don't know why they're not playing some Sunday night games, 1 or 2 even. But hey, I don't make the schedule. I'm just here to point out things that could happen. There's not too many interesting games on this slate. Eagles Jets might be good just because both teams suck. Cowboys Patriots is going to be a blow. It might be a very big game for Patriots because they can potentially walk all over the Cowboys by then. Because you know how much money they pumped into free agency? That I don't know how good that team's going to be, but they could be great. Hold on. Let's see. Do we have any confirmations of the full season schedule for Philly? Every time I look at one of our PSN Discord guys' names, I laugh. Eagles 2021 schedule. Week 1 at the Falcons. Week 2, home against San Fran. Where have we seen this kind of lineup before? Where we have those 2 in early weeks. Week 3 at Dallas. I like that. Oh, I like the lineup at the end of the season. Oh, that is one of my favorite lineups ever. That is a dangerous lineup. Hold on. I'm missing something. No, they're moving the Jets game to week 13. No, that's got to be a mess up, right? I was going to say that's got to be swapped, right? Jets and Dallas. But week 4, home against the Chiefs. It's still going to be a blowout for the Chiefs. Week 5, away against the Panthers. Week 6, home against the Bucks. Going to be a blowout for the Bucks. Week 7 and 8 are 2 straight away games at the Raiders and the Lions. Lions game actually might be good, depending on how they pan out. They just lost a bunch of weapons. Week 9 is at home against the Chargers. Week 10 is away against the Broncos. Week 11 is actually that one. Week 11 is home against the Saints. Week 12 away against the Giants, and then week 13 is apparently away against the Jets. But that means they're slotting those games in different spots in the season. And not last week, but this just said last week on the schedule release. So I don't know if something's messed up there. If the Dallas game, which is a home game, is supposed to be swapped with that Jets away game because we already played Dallas at home week 3. Then you got a bye week 14, home against Washington and New York, 2 straight back-to-back weeks. And then away against Washington, and then apparently home against Dallas on the 9th of January, but I don't believe that. That's probably a week 18 game, not Dallas. Looking at the times, you've got the Monday night game against Dallas. The Bucs game looks like a Thursday or Sunday night. And then we don't have the other Washington game, the home Washington game, the one right after the bye is to be determined. I have a feeling that's going to be, because I'm not sure exactly when the Bucs game is. Probably going to be Sunday night, so I'd say that Washington game may be Thursday, because that would be the third primetime game. I'm hoping they'll line it up on a Thursday, because that actually may be good. But, I mean, looking at what they're lining up right now, decent at best. I don't know. But looking at the Dallas game, or the divisional games, you're lining up 4 divisional opponents week 15 through 18. I like that. I like it better if the Jets and Dallas games were switched, which I think they are. Because then you're lining up Giants, Dallas, by Washington, New York, Giants, Dallas, by Washington, New York, Washington, with Dallas week 3. Then that means you bunch up all your divisional games, and you hit them all, you hit it out one by one. And in a row. So you're not, at that point, I'd be like, oh, I'm excited because I'm playing my divisional opponents all in one glob, and I can focus on that. You can focus differently on divisional opponents than other teams. And at that point, it could make it easier for game planning. Because you're going against a rival, you got to have the same somewhat of thinking going in against a rival that they're going to play their hardest to beat you, no matter if they're in or out at that point. So you have to do the same. Play hard and try to beat them, whether they're in it or not, or you're in it or not, in terms of playoff race. You just have to push against the divisional opponent because that's what you do. Got to beat them. Just for bragging rights. Besides, I want to beat Dallas. I want to beat the Giants, and I want to beat Washington. So bad this year. Not only that, it's with doing my podcast and everything, I so want to get back into football. Then I'm just pumped already. And games don't start for another 4 months. Literally 4 months and 4 months, yeah. 4 months exactly, because the first game is 9/12. It is currently May 12th. But anyways, that was just like a little bit of an in-depth look in general at the schedule. Not super in-depth. I'm going to go a bit more in-depth with ours for the podcast, but I also want to use this to just kind of look over the rest of the league because I'm not going to be able to really look it over on the podcast just because I'm going to be more affiliate-oriented instead of league-oriented. All right, let's see what people are saying or what Apparently, Philly has the easiest schedule and the Steelers have the toughest. I'm not sure about that. But Victor Lapido's out for the season. Yes, he's getting season-ending surgery. I know this is for the schedule release, but wow, that's not good. That is not good. I think it's fun. I don't know if it's good for Boston, but hey. So it's looking like the Giants have a Thursday night football and 2 Monday night footballs. Philly's got a either Thursday or Sunday and a Monday. So they're only getting 2 primetime games. Like, we couldn't have done this with the bad teams earlier in past years, but now we do it with us. Yeah, that sounds about right. Packers did sign Blake Bortles. Why would you sign Blake Bortles? I don't know. But yep, the Bears-Detroit game on Thanksgiving is confirmed. That is going to be interesting. They also have 2 Christmas games, speaking of Cleveland at Green Bay and Indiana at Arizona. Nothing exactly to write home about, but still could be good games. On Thanksgiving, if it's the same as it was leaked, which it probably is, it's Bears at Lions, or whatever I just said, whichever way it's said. Someone's at the Cowboys. I tweeted about this. Now I gotta go find the tweet, because I know it's gonna bug me if I don't get it right. And I just gotta get it right just because I need to be right for this. Because I don't want to say who's it who and kind of think one way when I'm I should be thinking the other. So it's apparently Bears at Vikings, Raiders at Cowboys, Bills at Saints. And somebody said W a good slate. Not really. Because Bears Lions could be a decent game because it's 2 struggling under 500 teams, probably going to be under 500 teams at that point, that are going to be limping across the finish line and just at that point taking like jabs at each other for 60 minutes. Slight jabs, just waiting for something to happen. Raiders at Cowboys, that's going to, depending on how both teams start their season, that could be a garbage game. It could be a great game. It depends. And then you've got Bills at Saints. If the Saints suck with Winston or Hill, or if they try to put Buck at quarterback, which you don't do because he needs to develop behind your guys first and learn and get like 4th quarter snaps and kind of get used to the game speed and everything before you put him in. Don't screw up another Notre Dame quarterback or else I'm not going to be happy. I've seen people screw up Notre Dame quarterbacks before. I don't want to see it happen again. Brady Quinn. But Jimmy Clausen, I wasn't really. So the Thursday game, the game at the Eagles for Tampa is a Thursday game. So that is a Thursday game. So it's a Thursday and a Monday game for Philly. No Sunday game. But Bills at Saints, it all depends on how they pan out with their quarterback situation. It also depends on, during that game, can they keep themselves from turning the ball over to that Bills defense? And can they keep up and keep scoring with that Bills offense? I don't think they can. I don't think they will. I think they lose. I think the Bills walk away with an easy win there. Whatever. But those are the real holiday games. Is their game the Panthers? I think their game is the Panthers. But this is going to be interesting. Apparently, we have had no repeat Super Bowl champs since the 03-04 Patriots. I did not know that. Do the Bucs have like a week 2 bye week? Because it's listing week 1, 3, and 4. Or do they just not want to list week 2 where the Bucs are playing? I mean, they've got the Cowboys week 1. That should be a cakewalk. And they got the Rams and the Patriots week 3 and week 4. I don't know who they've got week 2, if that's a bye or not. But Rams could probably be an easy game for them. The week 2, they're playing the Falcons at home. That's going to be a weird game. I don't know if I like that or not. But, hey. It could be worse, couldn't it? They could have the easiest schedule in the league and just cakewalk through the whole thing. That would suck. That would be the worst thing ever. Why are we highlighting the Giants Monday Night Football game, Tampa Giants? Dude, the Giants aren't going to put up a big fight. I'm sorry. It's former Super Bowl champions against the Giants. No. I will say, I do see this Philly team as like a 5-win team. I'm saying it now. They could be a 5-win team. That is not my prediction. That is just a hunch that I have that team is going to be around. I don't know. Saints is going to be interesting because they're pulling up Saints schedule right now. That's why I say that. Well, they've got a Monday Night Football game, a Thanksgiving game, a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, and another Monday Night Football game. Well, I get why they're doing it. Because they're actually a good team and could pull in ratings, but why? Can we at least just get a Sunday night game? Because those are better than Monday night games. Although I prefer Thursdays because, I mean, well, it'd be Friday. I'd be zoning out anyways most of the day. So, what's 6 hours of sleep compared to 8? And they just brought up the whole quarterback thing with Jameis Winston. I don't think Winston's going to pan out there. I don't. If he's going to be 30 for 30, Jameis, and throws 30 TDs and 30 picks, it is not going to pan out. If he all of a sudden stops turning the ball over and keeps scoring like he did in Tampa, you've got a good team on your hands. But the problem is, like I've said about Book before, it's not built for Book. It's not. It's not. You can't tell me realistically that is built for Book, that offense, because he's the future there, potentially. You would have to build that scheme to be for a scrambling quarterback that likes to get out of the pocket and move. Sometimes prematurely, though that can be taught, and that's somewhat instinct that can be kind of molded. That line's not probably the best built for a moving quarterback. That offense is probably not best built for a moving quarterback. So you'd have to mesh to that if you want him to be your future. Is he going to be their future? I don't know, but he may just be a cheap backup. Who knows? But anyways, I've kind of just been looking around, looking at the important games, looking at kind of Philly's schedule. This is going to be it. I just want to come on and stream for a little bit, talk about the schedule releases, kind of some of the highlighted games for myself. Also, one thing before I go, I remembered I was going to say about the Saints. It all depends on if Michael Thomas comes back good from his surgeries. And I'm going to draft him on my fantasy team again like I always do, because it's always him or AJ Green or both. So we can only hope. But anyways, this has been myself from the Golden Dome and the Common Flock and myself. Have a great day. I will see you over the weekend.